Medical units stand by. 30 seconds to contact. 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
We got him. Let's go.
Welcome, everybody, art aficionados and comic book connoisseurs, to another episode of Proof of Comics, where we draw comics live on camera, proving to you that humans are still making comics to this day.
Can you prove it?
Listen, I got 5 fingers on each hand, counting the thumbs. AI is not able to keep up with this. It's kind of like hit the ceiling, glass ceiling.
Where's the 6th finger?
There is none, though. Mel Brooks did add a 6th finger to his Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame star on Hollywood Boulevard. You know, where the stars come in and they stamp their hands, do their signature. He added a 6th, prop finger to his hand when he did stamped his hands in there. So he's got like 11 fingers instead of 10. Mel Brooks with the sense of humor, great director, brought us Blazing Saddle and Spaceballs. And let me introduce my co-hosts tonight, as always.
A man that I call Bob.
Couple of Path of Exiles 2 servers are down. Not happy. Okay. Even J-Law's not happy.
So, were you pretty hooked on Path of Exile 2? Enjoying it?
No, actually, I've just been playing it off and on.
I
just got back yesterday to start playing it again after I put it down for a bit.
Okay, last time I talked, you were playing it as well, so getting the impression that you like it.
There's some things I like. There's some things that definitely need to be changed. The UI really needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I'm not set up to play games on Steam at the current moment, but I might get a Steam Deck over the holidays and start gaming again. That'll be
What
fun.
up, Corey?
Hey, Corey's first in the chat. Welcome, Corey. How you doing? And yeah, speaking of gaming, let me introduce my second co-host tonight, Wrangler from Frequency Studios.
A whole lot of hola. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, man. Pretty thrilled. Like I've been on a tear with penciling Rattel pages lately, so that helps the morale. I guess I should say, because I've been feeling like I've been lagging, and everyone. That's the main complaint of any comic book creator is like it takes time. You're late with the book, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong, but it does take a lot of extra time when you're doing everything by yourself.
Tenkage, you better be ready for this Sunday recording.
Oh yeah, this Sunday, man. Rook Exodus #2. We're going to be doing a review, and we got review of issue #1 out on your channel, Billy Bob Sack.
Yes.
Is your channel just called Billy Bob Sack?
Yes.
Okay. People want to find it. That's how you do it.
Pretty
Well,
easy.
I'm going to be having fun. I'm going to eventually, over the next couple of days, start editing like a little intro for it. I did
Sweet.
for the first one.
Sweet. And I just sent you the scans. Hey, AC Pritchard in the chat. How you doing, AC?
What's up, AC?
Yeah, these guys at Iron Seas have a show in about an hour and a half, a little less than an hour and a half on their own channels. Iron Seas, and they're typically reviewing a movie that they vote on X. But I don't recall this week's movie. What are you guys watching this week? Reviewing?
I think it's Jingle All the Way.
Steam Decks are pretty solid. Oh, you got one as well, Tenkage. Interesting.
If it's Jingle All the Way, man, I could really show up and then say that movie fucking sucked. I watched that, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Oh, God, AC. Who was I arguing with? Butt Sauce. That's who it was.
Jingle All the Way with Arnold.
You're saying, no, it's good, man. No, the fuck it's not. It's a horrible movie.
I couldn't bring myself to watch any Arnold movie that wasn't him as an action hero.
Like, I thought, maybe it'll be like like maybe a little bit of a cheesy comedy or something, something like that. I put it on the same pedestal as, what was the one where he got pregnant?
Twins. No, that was
Junior.
Junior, right?
Junior. It is on the level of Junior. That's how bad it is. And I was not expecting it to be that
Turbo
bad.
Man. That's from the Last Action Hero, I believe.
See, AC? He gets it. He gets it. Hold up, AC. Wasn't it you? I'm trying to remember. I think you were in the chat that night when we were interviewing Butt Sauce. Didn't you say your wife really loved the movie or something? I'm sure it was AC.
Which movie were we talking about back then?
A Jingle All the Way.
Oh, that's okay. Same movie.
Yeah, because Butt Sauce was like, "No, it's great."
I mean, yeah, but I could see chicks liking that movie though.
Frederick, you know what? You watch the movie first.
Oh, no, I don't want to watch that. Are you kidding? I'll never
Listen,
get that time
Everlay's like you fucked up in your movie taste when Everlay likes it. And when you watching something really good when Everlay hates it,
Really, is that? Do you have any examples of like his favorite movies?
Oh, he really doesn't like I think it was Indiana Jones anymore because of the relationship between Indy and what's her name from the first movie?
Marianne.
Yeah. So he's like, I can't watch Indiana Jones anymore. And I'm like, all right.
Well, because she was like underage, right?
Yes, when in the chronologically in the movie. Of course, this is also like 1910. So
yeah.
How old was she in the movie at the time?
13 when she has the relationship with Indiana Jones, I believe, right?
13? No.
Something like that.
She was like 15 or 16 or something like that. Something like that. I think chronological, like if you actually add up how long it was.
So do the math, everybody.
Do the math. Do the math. Sinbad. Are we talking about the animated one, Tinkage? I'm confused what he's saying. Sinbad is the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Sinbad's character. Who was Sinbad in the movie? It was the black dude?
This is his neighbor.
Oh, wait, what? The drunk mailman. Yeah, the black dude. Was his name Sinbad in the movie?
Or is he played by the actor Sinbad?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he fucking pulled out a damn present bomb. That was the best part of the movie. I will give that joke some praise. Where he's getting cornered by the cops because they broke into the radio show that's giving out a ticket for the Turbo Man. And like the black dude, like he pulls out a package and he's like, "It's a bomb! It's a bomb!" And all the cops are like, "Oh man, it must be a bomb and shit." And the first one, the first package wasn't actually a bomb, but the one he ended up pulling out later on fucking explodes, blows up in front of him.
I don't remember that many details. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
I watched it a couple weeks ago. I remember that. Yeah, the neighbor is like he's the sleaze bag who's trying to like bang Arnold's wife. He's trying to be like the oh, I'll let you lean on my shoulder and talk to me with your issues and all
I
this
don't
other
remember that. I
shit.
just remember him and Sinbad fighting over the toy because both of them were trying to get it for their kids.
Yeah, but they get to a point where they run into a radio show that's one you'd ask you if you answer the first one caller to answer it correct gets a Turbo Man. So hijinks ensue and they fucking just break into the building and answer the question. And the dude's actually like giving a ticket to like redeem for one. But even an actual toy. His stage name is Sinbad. See, I was confused because I know Sinbad what was it, animated movie?
No, I just know the comedian who turned actor Sinbad.
Yeah, I remember the animated movie Sinbad. That was by DreamWorks. That was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Who's
I don't
bad?
like that movie.
Sinbad.
I don't like that.
Actually,
The only thing I liked
I'll tell
about
you
that
this.
movie.
The best part was in the beginning when the two were working, when he was working with his buddy, and then his buddy stayed behind for the rest of the adventure. It's like the two personalities worked off each other so well. I was bummed when one of them was out for the entire thing.
So, Frederick, you know what Sinbad is, don't you? Maybe.
It's a gin movie.
No. Let me show you. It was like a cartoon movie. Hold up. It was a cartoon movie
It
from
wasn't as good as Road to
I
El Dorado.
watched it a lot as a kid. The only thing I really liked was like the main villain because she was hot as shit.
Okay. Oh yeah, it reminds me of Aladdin a little bit. Is this Disney or just Disney Colors?
No, it's DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks is the company that like they make like a shit ton of like really bad kids movies, but like every now and then they will do good. But this isn't the good one. This movie was
Okay, Frederick, how big was that file again? I can't even save it on Google Photos.
It's 66 megs. No, you should only use it if you're going to print, it in a book or something.
Or well, it also has high quality, so when you zoom in or anything, you're not losing.
Yeah, you could zoom into every blade of grass. There's no glass, although there is glass in the windows, I guess.
Yeah, but you want it like that any of the art you get commissioned. Because if not, like imagine if you wanted to, I don't know, have the cutout of the face of the character, that top half. If you zoomed in, they sent you a really low file of it. It's gonna be fucking pixelated and ugly as hell.
Yeah, yeah. But even if you zoom in too much, even at high quality, you'll start to notice that it's meant to be a different size.
Yeah, but you're gonna notice it immediately if it's not if it's not sent at a big enough file.
Of course, true
Of
that.
course, as you can zoom in enough to the point where it doesn't matter. It's going to.
Yeah. But I mean, I tried to upload it to Google Photos, and Google Photos is like, nope.
No, it's a high. You should just keep that as an archive for when you print it to give to your designer who's going to put your book together. AC Pritchard's got some theories about Sinbad's character. So I'm curious, Tekage, what kind of games do you play on the Steam Deck? I was thinking maybe of getting that Spider-Man remastered, trying out a little Spidey game. Last time I played a Spider-Man game was on a Game Gear, Sega Game Gear. Anybody know that? Damn, that used to go through
Last time I
vendors.
played Spidey, it was on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, same brand.
Yeah, the Game Gear, I think, was that their portable.
Yeah, exactly. And I had the Spider-Man game that was, I think, Sinister Six, and it's fun, but it was like very basic side scroller, and it's not very immersive. But seeing what they can do today, and not getting the woke one, which is Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man 1 looks pretty good.
Wait,
And
wait,
it's
wait.
been
You're saying
remastered.
which Spider-Man 2?
No, I'm talking about Spider-Man remastered.
Oh, you're talking about the PS4 one.
Yeah. Well, PS4,
First one,
PS5.
here's the thing.
It's
I'll
on
say this:
Steam.
the first one's worth playing. I do not think the story is that great. Like it's to me, they kind of they didn't do what Arkham Origins did, or Arkham Asylum. Sorry, if you don't know, Arkham Asylum Batman was basically a sequel to the animated show. Spider-Man game didn't really have that.
So they're going off the traditional Peter Parker story, or
No, it's just amalgamation. Like it doesn't really have the benefit that Arkham Asylum had. Or Arkham Asylum, you can pretty much go, okay, the animated show. That's what's canon. That's what they were kind of doing. Like I said, in that game, Doc Ock is not a villain. Of course, it's not spoiler when I say he becomes the villain at the end.
right? It's Doc Ock, so you should expect him.
You're like, oh, you're working with Doc Ock, and y'all were like trying to do this, and he's like working on the fucking arms and shit. And I'm like, oh, where could this go? I don't know. But it's Spider-Man after 10 years of being Spider-Man.
So he's married to Mary Jane.
No,
Why not?
they actually ripped off Superman because now Mary Jane in this is a fucking journalist.
Oh no, she used to be a model.
That's another thing. I don't know if the remaster actually made her uglier. I know Spider-Man 2 did, but I don't know about the remaster. The remaster did change up the faces for whatever the fuck reason.
Yeah, they changed Peter Parker. I didn't hear anything about Mary Jane though.
I don't know, but you have that. You have Miles Morales is in the game, and yeah,
Yeah, but you don't play him though.
no, you technically play him in like one part, I think. If I remember correctly, you play him once. You're the most of the villains, like you have Kingpin, who's at the beginning.
That's pretty cool.
Venom. By the way, Venom isn't a thing either. He's never fought Venom or any of the symbiotes.
But is Venom in the game?
No.
No. Okay. How's the web swinging? That looks pretty cool.
It works. It's
I would imagine that's something they need to get right. they don't get the web swinging right, the whole game's just kind
Well,
of
not every Spider-Man gets it right.
Yeah.
So it's not like have you ever played the original PS2 Spider-Man 2?
No, like I said, I haven't played in a long time.
So you don't actually have to like in that game you had to actually have something to attach to, and this one you don't. But you can do like tricks and stuff when you're swinging.
Much better than a Game Gear. Yeah, I would bet, right? And I've been hearing nothing but praise. And on top of that, it's basically a Linux computer. And my default computers are usually, well, they're always Linux. I've currently got a Mac right now, but it's something I inherited from an old job. But that's kind of what pushed me to want to buy one. Actually, is the fact that I can use it as a computer. I can plug things in. I can access the web. I can probably do video editing with it. You can use it basically as a computer. So, and you don't need to buy an extra screen or controller. Everything's built in. It's kind of a good progressive buy, and a lot of stuff from Steam store was going to work on it. So yeah, I'm pretty much sold. I haven't bought it, pulled the trigger yet, but
You just don't go in expecting it to run games at the highest quality.
yeah, no, I've got a good. Well, there's two games I want to get. Like I mentioned, Spider-Man. You can get that to run decently at 45 frames per second, and on an OLED screen, that's actually pretty good. It'll drop some frames when you're like swinging through the city and stuff. It'll go down in the 30s, but it's
Yeah,
still,
that makes me wonder how it's going to run Path of Exiles too, because you can get like quite a bit of enemy density in the game.
good question. No idea.
There was one part in the dungeon where I had, I'd say about, I don't know, about 40 enemies on the screen at once.
Yeah, that's wild.
To be fair, it was like one room where they were the Turcotan soldiers, so the Chinese ones. Like
terracotta.
terracotta. And like it was an entire room, and there were just like legions of them. They all activated at once. I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Yeah. So how's that for
Pretty
a
dope.
audio avatar?
Frederick, is there a way you can send them a scan of just their top half so you can use it as a avatar? If you can do that later,
No, you don't think it's working out so well?
it's a little too low.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that after the show. I'll
Well,
edit.
what about this one?
A little too low.
Actually, send
What
that.
he can do is he can just send you that he can specifically have it where it's high quality of the two shots, so you can use it
Yeah,
if you want for profile.
yeah, I could definitely do that.
Oh, I'll be right back.
And after that, I should send the better version of this one to Billy.
I don't know if I got his likeness because it's hard to get people's likenesses, especially from memory.
Yeah, well, the character certainly acts like him.
Well, that's what counts.
What are you talking about? I'm muscle to the.
We were talking about you
go.
behind your back.
What are you talking about? I got muscles on top of muscles, Frederick. What are you talking about?
Well, Wrangler was like, "Oh, he's way too muscly in your first draft. You got to put less muscles on. He looks like Billy Bob, less muscles." It's like, okay, all right, it's the same.
No.
price.
See, now you're lying about the story, and that's just wrong.
It's true story. True
All
story.
right, I'll be right back.
Well, the character acts a lot like you, talks like you for sure.
How much of the story have you written?
Oh, it's
Wrangler?
written. I sent you the link to it so you could see it at your leisure.
Yeah, so it's a short story from what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it an ongoing thing? Or are you going to do
I intend it to be. I intend to follow up and do more. I'm just not
serial?
quite sure where to go with it because it takes place 6 months after the second book, And in that same time period, I'm going to have Sabrina doing stuff. I want to write stuff for her that she's got going on. And the thing is, the big bad of New World Detectives, she's also dealing with crap that he's doing in other areas, because he's a mob boss his reach goes kind of around the world.
International mob boss.
Yeah. So I eventually want what's going on with Sabrina to intersect with the New World Detectives. And in fact,
Intersex detectives.
no, that sounds all sorts of wrong. Whoops, wrong button. In fact, this guy worked with Sabrina directly at one point. He's actually in the first 2 books.
Yeah, he's
Very
got the
small
same
part.
suit, right? So he's basically
Yep.
from the same.
He's from the same organization.
org.
Yeah, he's not. He's in the first book, although he's not named. He shows up briefly in person in the second. And then when I was writing New World Detectives, I'm like, I need to use a hunter. Time to make a new. I'm like, wait, I have a little side character who got to do nothing. I'm going to grab him and use him. So that's him.
Yeah, man, I love when side characters like step to the forefront, and you get to learn more about them.
And I remember the personality I established for him. I'm like, wait, he fits here perfect. I'm grabbing him. He's from Maine, second density.
Second density.
Yeah.
How many densities are there in Maine?
You know, well, it's actually the whole planet. You know how everything is made up of energy? Everything has a vibration to it. And pretty much energy exists as a spectrum. The way I set it up is matter vibrates at a certain frequency. Different vibrations, you have a different density. It's like realms. It's like a world on top of a world on top. It's all the same space-time, but they're all out of phase with each other. He comes from a civilization that's in the second density. So even though it's in the same place at the same time, it's out of phase. So it's a bit of a different realm. And for exactly how many densities, I never established exactly how many, and I don't think I ever will. Because I mean, pretty much I just play with the first 1 through 5. And then I did have established final density is the astral plane, because that's where energy is at the lightest. First density, the human realm, that's the densest there is. So
Speaking of densest there is, we're joined by another co-host. Sorry, Otter, didn't mean to throw that on you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the Lord Otter. How you doing, Otter?
You asshole.
I'm sorry. I was trying to do a segue. I was getting to do a segue, and then he throws density out there.
you are a water weasel, and waters cannot be compressed.
I
I
take
throw
that
my
back,
rocks at you, all
Lord
right?
Otter. Yes, it's well deserved. I take that
Also,
back.
AC Pritchard, that's just like the AI, telling us your true inner selves. Chicks with pink hair.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those AI, man. Who knows what's behind the? Never
Oh
know.
my God, the enemies. Servers went down for a bit, Otter, on Path of Exile 2, right when I was going to get back on, continue where I left off early.
I need to play more of it, honestly. Last few days I've been reading a lot.
Yes, I kill you.
You've been procrastinating your gaming with reading, Otter? Seriously?
Yes, and
That's pretty
sometimes
gay.
I procrastinate my reading with gaming. It's a vicious cycle.
That's the way I feel all the time. I'm like, okay, now that I'm I have to do commissions. Let me procrastinate
Oh,
to get some Rattel done. And
So AC,
AC, I
Pritchard,
saw
you're a
that.
weeb. You're an inner weeb. You're an inner weeb anime girl with pink hair. I got you.
Yeah, you
Well-
got turned into somebody's waifu, apparently.
gotta check those out.
AC, did you make yourself all Segoy?
Boy. Oh man.
Oh man, like yeah, I can. At least you're offended, you know.
But you got to be part of the band.
Also, Corey, are you still there? Let us know.
Corey, if you're out there,
You're out there, Corey.
Corey, are you out there?
I can make a really shitty joke. Never mind.
no.
What's stop? You make them all the time. What's stopping you now?
It's probably really so bad that he's actually second guessing himself, which never happens.
You know it's bad whenever Billy is second guessing himself.
Don't
Well, it would have
encourage.
been a really cringe joke, and it would have went off the AC Pritchard one. I'm just
Yeah, listen, I already threw Lord Otter a low ball, so you know, let's not.
yeah, but he likes low balls. You know.
Let's get back into the
Oh!
Fuck you.
it's the holiday times. Let's get back into the Christmas spirit, guys.
Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Lick on these nuts and suck the dick. Get the fuck out after you're done, then I hops in my coupe and run. Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks. Grab the cash and make it quick. Long as my pockets is nice and fat, don't give a fuck where the bitch was at. Balling down in motherfucking Compton on the streets.
There's your Christmas spirit.
I feel much better
Onyx
now.
sent me one of those the week before. It was the song Hallelujah, but it was to the lyrics of Baby Got Back.
Hail, Tenkage. Glad to be here.
And we need to get the 50 cent one. The 50 cent one was like actual fucking gold. It was too good.
50 Cent and what? What was he saying?
Ah, fuck. What was I forgot his name. I'll have to look it up. It won't be that hard to find. I'll look it up here in a bit after I finish this section. But no, it was really good.
Yeah, these are fun sometimes.
I like big butts, I cannot lie. I it just
Billy likes big
it
balls.
somehow fit.
You know, Otter, you got to have a good segue to make those jokes, you know?
What? Do I? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, Otter, I wish you were there last night.
Oh, what
Hey-o,
happened?
phrasing.
Ouch. Now, a whole group showed up to the show to haze us, and one of them commented, "You will respect my authority."
Oh, my God.
Oh, we need Otter here to read this one.
Yeah, I should have been there to provide backup, but unfortunately, I was not there.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to read that one line.
Where did those guys come from? We still don't know.
I really don't know. I have a speculation, but probably not, because I've seen no fallout on any other site that I'm on. So it was just out of nowhere.
It's that Blue Sky site you went to.
Oddly enough, I got people starting to follow me over there, and they're all artists and book writers and game makers. So
That's probably what it was.
no, because I didn't lose any followers. In fact, I gained more.
Well, see, that makes sense. They saw our show. They were like, wow, this is actually great.
Now I'm going to say
guys
those
are
guys
making
that showed up
sense.
last night were not fans. It could have just been random group of kids who just happened across it.
Could be.
What were they even saying?
They're commenting on what they saw at the screen, because Billy Bob was like, oh, they could be bots, but bots wouldn't be like interpreting what
I don't
the
know.
screen.
I was in the middle of something. when it was
Yeah,
like-
Billy Bob was there, but he missed the whole thing because he was in a game.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
You would have had a field day, Billy Bob. You would
Bringing
have
that
shown
up.
no mercy.
So I know where the procedural generation. I actually got to the actual where you get the procedural generation dungeons. They're the trials. I don't know if they were in the first game. Do you know?
I'm honestly not sure. You said Trials for Path of Exile 2?
Yeah.
I don't know much of it myself, honestly. I haven't
So,
played much of Path of Exile 2.
well, I'm saying in the first game.
Oh, in the first game. I'm trying. Yeah, I remember the Trials, I believe.
Alright.
They're I might be getting them mixed up with something else, but they're like pocket dimensions or something like that. Where
Yeah,
you're
so you're running like multiple waves. Like you have this you're going one thing and it's like each direction and you're choosing what challenge it is and it's randomly generated in there.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now. They're not pocket dimensions, they're like little rooms and dungeons
Yeah.
where it's like you're clearing out certain trials or something
And you
like that.
can't get
Yeah, I
hit.
know what you're talking about.
And you can't get hit
You
because you
can't
have
get hit.
honor. Yes, you
That
have
sounds
honor
new.
and you have a certain amount of honor, and when you get hit or hit by a trap or hit by an enemy, you lose it. You got to make it through all 8 of them.
Okay, that sounds new.
So was the enemy to come up, slapping the face, and say, "Yeah, did your sister," or something like that?
Something like that.
How do you lose your honor?
I don't know, but it was
Sounds
it
vicious.
was annoying to go through that. I had to go through it like 4 times to eventually get through it. And like it's 8 individual things to get to the boss. And the boss had like a ridiculous amount of health.
Yeah, that also doesn't surprise me. So overall, how would you rate the game? I've only played a little bit of PoE 2 myself.
I give it a 7.
That sounds about right. That's kind of how I would rate Path of Exile 1. It's a solid 7 out of 10 for me, maybe an 8, depending on what part of the game you're playing. But overall, you're there more for the gameplay than you are for the story.
The
The
story's
seems a
okay.
little more involved.
Yeah, the story's not bad. Albeit, I mean, I don't think you really care about this. The main villain at the beginning of the cutscene that you watch was the Count, right? He is
Yeah,
not the main villain of the game
of course not.
because he's like he tries hanging you at the beginning and stuff. He's the Act 1 final boss. Like right before that, when you're going through his manor, like you get introduced to there was this woman he got with that was causing him to go mad and doing all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, so she's the real villain. So when you get to his boss fight, of course she turns on him and shit. I'm like, all right.
Well, of course, like this is how a lot of ARPGs go. You're going from slaying the local lord to killing like dark unholy gods or something like that by the end.
Yeah, like Act 2, like I'm at the very end of Act 2. I'm doing the final part. Like I fought like a resurrected, corrupted, ancient spirit dude of this like desert people.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to James Esparza, who's in sandwich form today.
Yes, give me a moment. I need to put on my appropriate attire. But hello, gays. It's nice to be invited to the stream.
Oh, by the way, Tenkage, you got to start drawing your avatar. We need like a real drawing from you of your avatar.
It's kind of like a Gundam character. Am I right? Or maybe Power Rangers, kind of like this.
Nah.
No, there's no Power Rangers in this
The
one.
one thing I really, really do not like about this game, so when you get into the little tiny map zones areas, Otter?
Yeah, the little zones where you're usually doing like small quests, killing tons of enemies.
I hate how the mini map keeps resetting. Where I have to rediscover it when I go back there.
Well, a lot of that is so you're telling me that the game is not procedurally generated, which I find to be very weird
Yep.
because those games are built on procedural generation.
Well, with the trials look to me to be procedurally generated. I think they are. 100%.
Okay. So it's like I know in base Path of Exile, it was like, and this is also the case with like games like Diablo 2 and stuff like that, where it's like they'll have like the same like anchor points where you enter and exit a zone, but it's like everything in between will be randomly generated and it resets every time you boot up the game.
Yep, that's not really here. Everything is kind of stationary. The only thing that's technically, I guess you can call randomly generated, is sometimes you'll get a little bit stronger of an enemy with a certain effect to them, and sometimes a yellow barred enemy.
Okay,
That's about
that's
it.
interesting. Huh. I'm not used to that, especially in something like Path of Exile.
Like
Did you
every
say a yellow
now, granted,
bard?
this is the story mode, so everything's it's handcrafted. It is.
Did you say yellow bard enemy?
Yeah, yellow barred. They got a gold bar on their health.
Oh, okay.
The name.
Okay, gotcha.
Some of them are set like mini bosses. Some of them are just in this area. They'll sometimes spawn, and you can kill them. And that's where you get sometimes a decent, good loot. I will say also, since I played this on day one, I know it was like a day or two after they did update the game to have better loot drops. Like it was actually wasn't dropping that much loot in the game.
Yeah, I remember hearing that quite a bit whenever the game first came out. It was kind of a controversy. A lot of people were saying the game isn't giving you enough loot.
It wasn't even when I was playing. Oh, boss fight. Shut the fuck up, Countess. Oh, I can see you for the first time.
Well, that would make the items even more rare than if they were not dropping.
No. It just wasn't dropping loot that much. Not just the item rarity. It's just you weren't getting that much loot in general. What the fuck is this? It's a mound of blood and skeletons. The dude on top. What the fuck?
You need to start streaming,
Sounds,
Billy Bob, so we can see what the hell you're going through.
Well, he's
Sounds
called,
like he's having a-
was it Jamnara the Abomination? All right.
Sounds like he's at a
Sound wrong.
Diddy party.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Speaking of
really
streaming,
bad.
I guess I'll go ahead and share what I'm streaming.
Listen, no one wants to watch the final fag, okay?
oh, that's Berserk. That reminds me of
Excuse
Berserk, but it's not.
Excuse me?
So FF14 takes inspiration from a lot of different anime and just different series in general. There's a few like Western pop culture references in this story. It was like what was it? It was like the answers to life, and it was throwing in the number 42 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It was just like 5 or 6 like pop culture references in like one paragraph.
Oh,
Sometimes you can go too far. Like Fallout did it well in that it kept it to the main quest like serious, but let out its humor like in the side quests and the random encounters and stuff.
Yeah, I really liked how Fallout handled the wackier parts of its setting. It was usually just random encounters where it did it.
Yeah.
And I loved that it was just like these small little bits in between all the grim moments.
well, the setting itself has a bunch of pop culture references and inspirations. I mean, Mad Max was a big inspiration, of course.
My God, it's a plot twist. It's aliens.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you have aliens in Fallout 1, but it's not in the main story. It's just random encounter where you find a
Not
crash
always.
site
There's
with,
probably a lot of inspiration even in the main one. It's just not always super apparent. Like Conker's Bad Fur Day has a little bit of the guilty, or sometimes it's just too in your face, like the Matrix bit. If you remember that, R.
Hey, King Bob, how you doing tonight?
Hail, King Bob.
Welcome,
Hello, Bobby. Bobby.
Your Majesty.
The very moment I started streaming this, it's been like a major plot twist.
Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
I need to get into more Japanese media.
You should try the pens.
Are you Chinese or
Japanese
Japanese?
pens are great.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Japanese media. Japanese cartoons.
I mean, you learn one
Japanese
thing with
books.
Japanese media: they really love food.
It's a little bit of an obsession, and it's in like every bit of media too. At the very least with anime, it's all over the place.
I seen Dragon Ball Z.
More than just Dragon Ball Z. There's a lot of series that really fetishize food.
A lot of characters are
actually,
named after food too.
Yes, I seen this show that was essentially Pokemon but with food. They made that a thing.
What, you gotta eat them all?
Fighting food on. It's like you would cook the dish and the dish would come to life and fight another person's dish. Yeah,
Holy fuck.
it's as
All right,
crazy
time
as
to
it
go back
sounds.
to the drawing board.
Right.
If I can level up some of my gear.
Everyone's a chef and fighting food on.
Oh, so that reminds me, this week I just started watching into Monster, if anybody here is familiar with it. That is a fantastic series. Technically, it's an anime, but it does not go by anime tropes hardly at all. It's very different.
Monster, you say?
Yeah, it's like a psychological thriller, and it's really, really good.
Shoot it my way. I want to take a look.
Yeah,
Primarily because my prejudice for the Chinese has been growing. Therefore, I must simply side with the Japanese.
Oh, Otter, you remember this, right?
Yep. Oh my god. Her argument was so stupid. I actually think Razor had a more nuanced argument. Like I
What
think
was
he
the
gave his
argument?
2 cents on it on stream, which is like I think he made the better argument in the sense it's like if all you need to buy a game is like a pair of titties or an ass, then that says something about you. And I'm like, okay, that's a fair argument. Melanie's, on the other hand, is just, hey, there's a chick in sexy underwear. Oh, this is a porn game. Therefore, we should censor all games like this because I'm
This
going
is
to
a
be the
porn game.
righteous paragon.
You're right. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, porn game. Look at this. Look how sexualized this is. Look at how
Yeah, that is
it
a little bit
emphasizes
of
his
bulky.
penis, right?
That's bulky, isn't it? That is quite bulky, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'll stand
it's
up
not
in a
her
court of law
fault.
as porn. As long as the genitalia is fully covered, it's not porn.
She means well, guys. She's just, drawing
She's
the wrong
young.
conclusions.
I think she's
No,
grifting
they're going
personally.
into the kind of. We just got away from massive censorship, right? Like we're just now getting out of it, and now they're trying to be like, no, we should censor what we don't like. It's like, no, fuck you.
Well, no, I agree with that actually, because that's what we're doing with wokeness is we're censoring wokeness and replacing it with shit that we like, and the shit that we like is good because it doesn't suck. And wokeness is
No,
We're
because
not
we're not
censoring it.
We don't
Yeah,
need.
it's not censoring. We're just
I'm
saying
totally
we
down
hate
with
it.
censoring wokeness. Let's censor the fuck out of wokeness.
We don't
Well-
need to because nobody likes it. Like no one's actually
Yeah, that's why we
pushing.
Here's
need
the
to
problem
censor
with
it.
censorship. When you try
It's
and
like
censor
censoring a
something, it
dog.
becomes the counterculture. The counterculture is cool by default.
No, you need more than that. Counterculture has to be attractive. Wokeness isn't attractive.
It doesn't take much for it to be attractive.
It's the social equivalent of a. piece of
If it was
fried dog
attractive, then Star Wars Outlaws would have fucking sold a lot. Dragon Age the Velgar would have sold a
food.
lot.
It's gonna, yeah,
Really
like
not too attractive.
wokeness is a bit different from most other things because it's extremely corporate. It's extremely
Yeah.
synthetic in nature. So I'm down with censoring that because it's not real. It's fake.
I'm not down with censorship. And I also think it's going to have the opposite effect whenever you try and put it into place. That's my big problem with it.
I don't know. I don't see that happening with it. Getting rid of the wokeness.
Yeah, but you don't have to censor it.
I think resisting it is perfectly sustainable because here's the thing, wokeness kind of destroys itself. Like there's no censorship even required.
Yeah, it's a game of
That's
attrition.
why. And no, you do need layers of censorship. I'd say because a lot of it is being applied to existing products like fucking Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
So here's where I fundamentally disagree. Just because one side is using down and dirty methods to try and get what they want, that doesn't make it an excuse for us to do the same thing.
I wouldn't say that we censor the way they do, as in like just bashing. Our censorship be simply calling it out, old school, kind of like what Grums is.
Boycott.
Yes.
Boycott is not censorship. Boycott is just saying I am not interested in this.
In
That
a
is
way, it
fundamentally
kind of
different.
is. In a way, it kind of
Censorship is
in my
saying
opinion.
you cannot do this, and you are enforcing it.
That's what a good boycott is, though, to a degree. Like the decent
No.
But it's not. You're with your wallet. You're not. You're
One-
saying I'm not going to spend my
yeah,
money on
one is a
this. Now, the
consumer
company might
choice.
Go, oh, I should. Let's reverse
One is a
that.
consumer choice, and the other is like bringing in the government to apply force.
Also, Otter say this as a Cartman.
What King Bob is saying?
Yeah, I want to hear it as Cartman. Then I want to hear it as what's his name? Heel. Hank.
All right. Chinese. Well, you got to pick one.
Frederick. I swear to God, I'm going to cut your balls off.
Which one? Which one?
This one. This
Okay.
one.
Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. You're cute,
Frederick,
by the
stop.
fuck.
Hey, we're done with the other one.
Ah. Now say this,
Chinese,
Hank Hill.
Japanese, dirty knees. Well, look at these.
Do you want to know another very interesting Gates argument going on? Because they called that one like Goonergate, whatever. Another one that's actually coming out of Britain is called Sandwich Gate, which is terrible because it's next to nothing. People are arguing whether or not sandwich is considered a meal.
What?
Yeah. Apparently it's bred by their politicians. So it might be some
I mean-
psyop, but it's pretty retarded.
To be fair, sandwiches didn't. Oh, well, what are we considering a meal?
I guess, right? Maybe there's more here that meets the eye. Maybe it's a true conversation.
So what kind of psyop is it to question whether you? This hurts my brain even just to try to formulate it.
Yeah, well, it's a British psyop, so
What's their evidence that it's not a meal?
Is it pushed on TV?
It was just the guy that came out and said it wasn't a meal, saying something like, "If you take your lunch break, you're kind of like a wimp, and sandwiches aren't a meal." And then it became this long ass fucking thread.
You make your sandwich right, it can absolutely be a meal.
So I guess he's saying subs aren't a meal.
I guess you do get like chips with the sub, so a sub alone probably isn't, right?
It really works pretty well as a psyop. Like everyone feels concerned.
Listen, it's first.
Do hot dogs count as a sandwich?
No.
It doesn't. I mean, it's close, right? It's like a sandwich's cousin.
Technically, it is. Matter of fact, funny enough, I actually did watch a video explaining the history of sandwiches.
Oh god.
And how it started, which was I think a rich noble dude who was a gambler, who was like, "I want to eat a food where my hands don't get dirty." So they went, "All right, we take 2 pieces of bread and some meat." There you go. And it was
so
a little
you can
tiny.
dabble and eat.
Yeah, and it was a little tiny, Well, like sliders is what they basically were.
Okay. What was the name? Like, why do they call it sandwich?
Oh, I gotta remember.
That's a good question. I never looked that up.
This is like our culture here. It's going by us.
I don't know.
Welcome, Dr. Ben.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think there's.
Hey, Dr. Ben.
I don't know if we
Fellow
could,
Comic Skate Commandos.
I don't think we actually know who originated is, like who actually originally came up with it. I think it's just one of the things is at some point someone called it a sandwich in
That-
a cookbook. And
I
I'm
saw
like,
a thing
oh,
on
damn
food
it.
theory on that, Dr. Ben. Matt Pat did a whole episode on that. I don't think it was ruled a cake.
I didn't hear about that, but I know that the bread we have in America is close to glue. Like it's not even healthy anymore.
Yeah, but you're talking about Subway. I mean that.
Yeah, it's fast.
That's owned by McDonald's, right? The same.
I have no clue.
No, I don't think. Well, nowadays everybody's owned like one company somewhere.
No, Subway. It was their bread. It's not.
I think Subway actually started here in Connecticut.
But then again, France also eats snails. So, like, who are they to judge?
Snails are excellent in garlic sauce, man. Garlic butter, snails, it's the best. You can't
Keep
beat
the
garlic.
shell on them and insert them in a truffle. It's like chewy on the outside, crunchy in the center.
It's nothing compared to flies and garlic butter. Because I'm a talking lizard.
Flies are filled with parasites. It's disgusting.
That's fine. You know, parasites actually keep away. Keep your immune.
Keep
and
the
your
doctor
defense
away.
up.
Frederick, I'm gonna really fuck you up.
I think you're thinking of bacteria.
Not parasites. Look it up. It's crazy.
Have you seen the parasite that eats out a fish's tongue and then becomes its tongue and just keeps the fucking fish sustained enough to live? While it
That's so
gobbles up
fucked
most
up,
of the
man.
food.
The ocean is full of weird shit.
Insect life is also really fucked up.
Ooh.
How about that fungus that takes over ants and pilots them like zombie mechs?
Yeah, but it actually doesn't. That's actually incorrect. It doesn't mind control them. They're already dead. The ants are dead.
Okay, so what
They're
does
not-
it do though? How does it pilot their body?
It goes to the stem, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Rolls
It's
onto it, but the
it's weird
ant's
bug
already
stuff.
dead.
So it's bypassing the main compressor.
Wow.
I don't know.
I bypassed.
Would you say-
You can look it up, but
Would you say that Ray Skywalker is a parasite?
yes.
Okay, I'm
Yikes.
glad you solved
He's
that one.
right in
No,
there.
no hate
It's
for
even
the
worse.
actress, but
Does she
Palpatine
become a
was
those
bitch
who
one
wrote
on
the
too?
character suck.
Palpatine won in the end.
Well,
His
yes.
bloodline
Yes.
lived on. The
That
Skywalkers are dead. All of them dead.
It's Disney for you.
Same thing goes with Han Solo's legacy. Fucking dead. All gone. Skywalker Solo's fucking gone.
I want to
No
see
more.
Palpatine versus the Punisher.
Palpatine's bloodline is the
Don't we have
living
enough with Archie and the Punisher?
I used to own that book.
I wonder if it's worth a
The
lot.
weirdest crossover ever. Archie and the Punisher.
No doubt.
I saw that. I lost all my comics so long ago, but that was just I was collecting the Punisher at the time, and I used to read a lot of Archie. So when I saw that crossover, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that. It makes no sense, but I'm getting it.
Yeah, that's you got to wonder how they got that made. I heard a bit of the story in the audio book on Stan Lee's life or between Marvel and DC. Read both in the same period. And yeah, there was a period of time when the two companies could work well. It didn't happen a whole lot, but when it did happen, they had like Spider-Man versus Superman. They had Archie versus Marvel, Punisher.
Yeah,
The-
that was back in the Spider-Man versus Superman. I think that was late 80s. That was actually kind of interesting because Spidey unknowingly got Lex Luthor irradiated him with red sun radiation. So Spider-Man came out and just started knocking Superman around. He's like, this guy's a pushover, because he didn't realize he was emitting red solar radiation. But then it wore off, and then all of a sudden he ran into Superman. It was like regular dude running into a brick wall. It just didn't work anymore.
There was a lot of technical requirements to make that happen. Like they had contracts drawn up where you couldn't have Spider-Man featured more than Superman. Like they had to have the same number of panels.
And then they did in that same time period, they did Batman versus the Hulk.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, Batman ended up releasing a whole bunch of sleep toxin, and Hulk went to hold his breath, so Batman kicked him on the solar plexus, making him just reflexively gasp and sucked it all in, and he passed out, turned back into Bruce Banner.
See?
I think I heard of this. They actually released a handful of comic books where it was like DC heroes versus Marvel heroes.
That came almost, was it, I think 10 years later, where they had the Marvel universes versus the DC universe, and pretty much each universe was like a brother to each other. They were very similar, but they couldn't get along, so they kind of ended up separating and falling into a sleep, but they got woken up and started going at it again. And they had one character who was a shared character named Access, who can go back and forth between the two universes. And he had to help the heroes solve the whole thing. But the two brothers came to an agreement. They realized if they just keep fighting each other, they'll destroy each other. So they each picked so many people to be their champions from their own universe to pit against each other. And whoever won the most matches would be the winner, and the other one would cease to exist.
Hey, Frederick, can you focus on my screen just a second?
Sure. Let me.
So some of the matchups were
it
was Superman and Hulk, had Namor and Aquaman, Quicksilver versus the Flash, which was just not even close on that one.
Oh crap, we just came across a bunch of hippies. Time to kill ourselves some hippies. They're not people.
So they had Storm versus Wonder Woman, Robin versus Jubilee, Spider-Man versus Superboy, and Thor versus Captain Marvel at the time. Now he's Shazam.
Isn't that Horseman, Dr. Ben? Hector Caballero. I think that's the real name of Horseman. And I'm ashamed that I know that now.
We'll just call him Mr. Ed. And
is that Path of Exile 2? No, it's not, right? Otter?
It's obviously Path of Exile 2. How did you know?
No, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know.
No, this is Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy, right, that's what you were saying.
How many of them are there altogether?
Final Fantasy games?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I lost count after 7.
They have spin-off games, too. At least 20, I think, at this point. This one's a little unique just because it's technically one game, but you could probably stuff about 5 or 6 games in here.
I think like half of them have nothing to do with each other. And
well, it's kind of like they have similar ideas and characters. It's just it's go
not
with
a coherent
very
story, though.
Well, for the most part, yes, there's the odd game that ties them together. I think Dissidia is like one of the games that's just a straight up crossover. Has like all of the big characters from the different games come together for like, it's basically Smash Brothers, but Final Fantasy. It's like the big exception.
It actually sounds kind of cool.
It is pretty cool. Kind of a shame that it's only a PSP title. I actually think it could sell quite a bit if they learned how to market it better.
Speaking of marketing, Otter, do you have a date set for your campaign when you're gonna start it? Because I think you already answered that, right?
So I'm hoping to get the book done like around the end of this year, early next year. I'm getting close to being finished. Mostly just going through some beta reader comments at the moment. I'm hoping to actually start the campaign proper around April of next year. That's what seems right about to me. I'm everything seems to be kind of like coalescing to that point. So that's when I'm hoping to get there. I've talked with some like overall like comments on like my book and everything, and I think for the most part it's just polish, just adding bits of ideas here and there. So it's very much to the point where I'm kind of in this polishing phase, and it's taken a bit longer than I've hoped. But at the same time, I'm pretty confident with where it's gone overall. I mean, a couple of you guys have kind of like read some of my earlier drafts already. I think at this point it mostly just needs a bit of polish, some tweaks here and there, that sort of thing.
And this is the first time you're going to be doing a campaign.
Yes,
campaign.
And it's not at all daunting. That's why I want to have a finished book first before I actually start campaigning.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking you questions as well, because I'm about to get started too. But
yeah, I'm also getting art commissioned. Well, some of it is I'm asking you for a few commissions, so that's part of it. But between getting artwork commissioned from you, Corey Barton, and Neutron Boar, I think there's going to be a pretty sizable art library this time around for the second book, which is going to be interesting. I'm hoping to get a good variety of different themes too. I've shared a bit of the artwork, which some of it so far has been a little more on the tittillating side. I don't want it all to be that, of course.
Well, you are known for athletic tits, so...
Yeah, it's become a bit of a meme, but the key is mixing it in with other themes, that not being the only part of it. And that's pretty much been one of the big goals with this second book. To have it interwoven a bit, but for the most part, a lot of it's going to also be cloak and dagger, heists, a good deal of horror, a little bit of romance here and there. So I'm hoping that it all comes together here in the end.
Yeah.
Romance and horror. And
speaking of the books, I'm having a little issue with Amazon at the moment. Something
That sounds like another day ending in Y.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, are you going
I
to be
decided
going?
I wanted to go lower the price for the rest of the season. For the ebook, I wanted to drop it down to 99 cents because I've seen plenty of ebooks. 90. It tells me it has to be between $2.99 and $4.99. It won't let me drop it that low. Is that a new thing?
Well, honestly, I think that's been the least of my issues with Amazon. There's been points where they've just straight up locked me out of my account for no reason whatsoever.
Are you going to be taking the same route as the previous book, or are you going to like do a different kind of printing this time around?
I'm thinking about Ingram Spark, honestly, unless there's something unique with the prints that is going to be happening, which I doubt. Like, I really liked how everything turned out for my first book through Ingram Spark, so I'm hoping to go through them again. Their print quality is very nice, by the way. Very good for hardcovers, I found. I don't know how well it works for comics, but for novels, it's very good.
Cool. Ingram Sparks. Yeah, a lot of problems to solve, a lot of things to think about.
Yeah. I remember one time it set my book price to like Amazon did set my book price to like 30 something bucks, and it wouldn't let me bring it down. I'm like, do you not want me to sell a book? That's insane. I had to send them a message. It took like a week and a half before it came back down to where I actually wanted it.
All right, Otter, say hello to your horse.
Hello to your horse.
Now you must pet the horse.
No, you pet him.
What the fuck is this, Otter?
Well, it's a weeb game, so guess.
All right, Otter's going to jail.
Bye, everyone.
She
Say goodbye to Otter. Say goodbye to Otter, everyone.
No, it's totally cool, man. She's like 10,000 years old and stuff. She's
Yeah,
All right,
right.
Otter's in jail. Just letting you know, Otter's in jail. And I
Don't-
forget it.
Oh,
That chick's older than
this is
she
very much an anime game for better and for worse.
Go anime.
That one.
You
of the
know what? I
ghosts
can
from
send you a
Pac-Man?
video that's what was it? King Bob decided to click on it, and he blamed me for his feed being fucked up after that. It was like a dance chick or whatever doing the dance choreography. It was just degenerate. I sent it to you, Otter, didn't I?
Yeah, I know you sent me one video. It was about a year ago or something, and my feed also got cluttered up with a bunch of crap.
No,
Oh,
no,
God.
no, wrong one. Albeit, you do need to clip the the sub one.
The sub one?
Yeah, the sub one.
I don't immediately know which one that is.
You know which one it is. Come on. It was not my fault, King Bob. You clicked it. You have free will, sir. Free will. You don't remember the sub one? Damn, this is a good sub.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Damn, that is a good sandwich. Just animates the
You know what?
sandwich
I'm
to
gonna make
freaking
Frederick
like
clip it.
throb and shit. I'm like, oh god. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, anime.
To be fair, it was like straight up from like a, I think a hentai or something
Oh boy.
is what that was from. I think
Does China
maybe
have
that
their
was the
own?
one that messed you up.
Does China have their own hentai? That thing over there?
I'm sure. Like China and Korea both have like their own version of anime and manga.
Oh, you break it up there. I'm not sure if that's just me.
I've watched a lot of the Korean ones, but it's on YouTube.
Korea,
South Korean ones.
Don't you want to Korea?
Not bad, actually. They were pretty funny. Pretty good. Listen, I'm just gonna send King Bob some more. You know, really fucking with algorithm.
Yeah, go fill up his feed.
It does. I mean, that's what happens a lot. Someone will post like bad dubs or whatever as well, clips. Watch one of those.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Remember that? What was it? What was the name of that really, really infamous one, Otter?
Oh, are you talking about like what? What's it called?
I think
You're
I know what
talking
you're
about like fucking Bible Black.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
that
Oh,
series
never
is
mind.
fucking infamous.
Okay. What's that about? Oh.
It is. This is where I learned it, and of course I went.
Is
to
it
civil.
chicks get dicks?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's got all kinds of shit.
That's out there, Japan. That's out there.
The funny thing is, the way I discovered it was from a clip, just like the bad dubbing of it, and the dub is horrendous. The English one, and it was on YouTube. Just the chick was like, we're a small enough channel. She was trying to off herself or whatever. She actually like jumped off the building, but the English like dubbing was so horrendous it made it just fucking hilarious. No, King Bob, actually, I didn't hear about it until that. And then I asked Sybil, and Sybil told me what it was. And then he said the scenes in it were even worse than that one I saw.
Have you guys ever watched Sea Dog VA's channel?
Never heard of him.
So he's a voice actor. He's done a lot of like videos related to voice acting. Apparently, he did like a whole video where it was him and a bunch of like other voice actors trying to fix like hentai voice acting performances, and they chose like 4 different series at random, And it's like they did a bit better, but it's like you can tell most of it is just the writing. It's like, Jesus Christ, this writing is awful.
Well, here's the
One
fun
was like,
fact.
"Get your floppy tits off my table" or something like that.
Here's the
It
fun
was,
fact.
it was in
Otter.
like a haughty, like British accent too.
So Otter, you know, like why most like anime, like Japanese voice actors were able to pull off the lewd shit so well?
Why is that?
Because most of them fucking done hentai work.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
why.
A lot of the voice actors, both East and West, have done like performances like that. Some of it is also them just pulling people off the streets and having them like record the lines.
And then you had Golden Boy, where the dude evidently had like no training whatsoever.
The thing is, that actually works very well in his specific case because he sells it. It is not good. It's not regular voice acting, but it's just him like putting his heart and soul into it, and it's amazing.
Well, you also keep in mind like he's not a voice actor at all. Like it's just real, and this was the only thing he ever did. Have you watched Golden Boy, Frederick?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's
It's
not a
a
hentai.
very
It's not a
perverted
hentai.
series, and it's really funny.
It is perverted, but it's not a hentai. But it's funny as shit. Like it's only 6 episodes long. It was an OVA.
When did it come out?
90s.
Yeah, I think it was the 90s.
Huh. I don't know why I haven't heard of it.
It's funny as shit. Like I said, it's only 6 episodes long. It all ties in at the end. Just don't ever look up the manga. I did.
Apparently, the manga goes to some weird places.
Yeah, the author was like starting to use the series as like a political message in Japan. Delved into like sex cult or some shit. It was fucking weird. Went like every degenerate route you could think of. Just watch the movie.
OVA even has like a pretty good ending too. Kind of ties it up by the final episode, and the final episode I think was written by the studio. It wasn't even written by the mangaka. It was just them trying to put an end to it.
Yes, and the entire final episode takes place of him learning about making an anime, and it was using real pictures of their desk and stuff in the episode. They're just like, here's what an artist's desk looked like, and it's just fucking massive amounts of paper and shit.
It was like old sandwiches and stuff, like stuff between the shelves, and he was like, "How could anybody work in a place like this?"
The whole concept, Frederick, is
Oh, you're breaking up there. Roboting a little bit.
so the whole idea with the main character, he is a pervert. However, he just wants to learn everything,
Okay.
and he can like masterfully learn it really quick.
Oh, is it? What's the title again?
Golden Boy.
I'm not sure.
He says that was very educational. That's like his one line that he repeats.
The best way I can describe Golden Boy is it's like an etchy comedy where it's like it's got its fair share of like perverted moments and boobs, but it balances it with just him being a total idiot. The animation is also shockingly good.
But is he Chinese or Japanese?
Are you Chinese or Japanese? Let me find.
Well, he's a guy who dropped out of college right before he could graduate just to wander the world aimlessly in search of odd jobs. He's also a total pervert and kind of sort of a genius.
Oh, I need to find the one clip. So, like the
Hold
first
on,
episode,
hold on.
the chick is like beating the shit out of him because he deleted their. She's a programmer. It's an all-female programmer thing.
Yeah,
Like, he accidentally deletes it, and she starts beating the shit out of him. She spits at him, and he fucking jumps in the way to catch you.
is this the one where he tried so hard to get a job there? He's like, I stayed up all night learning basics to do this.
Yes.
That's the only episode. It's an episodic thing, right?
Yep.
Yes, and then the running
that's the only
joke
one we ever
is
saw. The dude was like in the latrine getting all weird.
It's a running joke with the
He has a
fucking
whole
toilet.
thing with toilet water. It's weird.
Well, no, it's a toilet that women been sitting on specifically. Hold up.
But it was like a bidet, and he was using it like a drinking fountain. He was gargling it.
Yeah, because she was sitting there. Here, Frederick.
何でもします。
Oh, I can't find it. This isn't the English version.
We need the dub. The dub makes it.
Let me see if I can find the
This dialogue.
What is this?
Let me see if I can find the
You
English.
surprised I actually know this one, Billy?
Yeah, you know it. It's...
Kintaro's such a pervert.
Oh, at the beginning of the episode, she accidentally almost runs him over and kills him, but she ends up giving him money, and then he's actually a good person, so he gives I think Yakuza to back off from an old couple. But like eventually at the end of the episode, she's like asking for the money she gave him back, and he's like, "Oh, I already spent it all," and she thinks he spent it on fucking like porn and shit.
I've already spent it all, ma'am.
You son of a...
Yeah, Kintaro's he's the weird kind of pervert. Like weirder than normal.
Let me see if I can find the fucking bike scene. The bike scene's fucking hilarious.
The bike scene is really funny. We'll
wait for
probably get flagged for that. I'm not gonna lie.
Can't wait for the live action remake.
Oh god, I don't think it would happen in this day and age. I don't think it would happen.
I don't know. Times are changing.
Yeah,
Give it
he
to
has
the
an
French.
entire race with this one chick. I think it's like the third or fourth episode, something like that.
It's like episode 4. There's a scene where she is topless and in lingerie while she's literally humping her bike.
Yeah, she's riding her bike, and she's like, "The bike is the only thing that can get me off. Everyone, the only time anyone can, bang me if they can, beat me in a fucking motorcycle race."
That's also part of the formula. It's like whenever Kintaro enters in a town at the beginning of the episode, everybody hates him. The chicks he likes all just despise him, and by the end, they're all wanting to bang him, but he's left by that point. He's long gone.
Yes, because they all realize at the end he's actually like he is a degenerate, but he is a horrible person. But the thing is, it's like they end up doing something, or he thinks he's in the wrong, so he ends up just leaving, going to find some out.
Thanks, I learned a lot.
the swimsuit one. Otter.
What is it?
The swimsuit one.
Oh boy.
He's swimming in the pool. But he races her for sure.
I also just like to think of the one scene where he's trying to demonstrate his swimming skills to the rest of the class. And it's like this really elaborate like sequence where he is absolutely terrible. He's actually like he's like straight up and coughing while it's still giving the sense of him like emotion. He eventually reaches the other side after doing a horrible job. He's like, "So, how do you like my swimming?" Great show. I really do recommend it.
Frederick, watch it. I think you would actually enjoy it. It's actually funny.
I don't know, man. Anime, I'm not sure.
The animation's good. It's worth it. Like I said, it's only 6 minutes or 6 episodes long, so it's not a long series at all.
I value my soul.
Otter, pull up a screenshot of the red chick. I'm wearing a red dress. You know what? I might have to find that scene. Hold up. it's like the tightest red dress you can ever think of. And they spent
There's
a
only
lot of
like
budget
one
on-
episode where he meets a girl who's not overtly sexualized. Was it like episode 3, like the noodle girl?
I think it's
You
episode
actually
2.
just feel bad for her.
Albeit the funny part about that, like he's trying to, because the one dude's like is like a douchey fucking con man who's trying to romance that chick, and he's just trying to be nice.
The funny thing is, like, he's trying to like sneak up and like try and get her away. The thing is, the guy's like leaning in for a kiss, but his eyes are closed, so he accidentally ends up kissing Kentaro instead.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
trying to like lay the moves, and he
Well, no,
doesn't
no,
even
no.
realize it.
He was trying to.
He was trying to make her like cream her pants or something.
He was trying to finger bang her, and then Kentaro like tries to stop it by using his fingers. This fucking dude.
It's one of those things where the animation actually sells it.
Listen, it's like Akira, Frederick. It's like Akira.
Nothing is like Akira.
Yeah,
Akira
this
is
one's pretty close. Animation is actually pretty good.
It's all by itself.
Remember, this is like a 6-episode OVA, so the animation is actually pretty solid.
King Bob apparently has already sold his soul, so he can watch all kinds of anime.
I will say this though, if you're looking for an anime series to watch that doesn't have like a lot of the trappings people don't normally like in anime, like I'm telling you right now, watch Monster. It's a really good series.
Yeah, you're
Or
kind
watch
of like
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
That's
piquing my
another really good
curiosity.
series.
But what's the art like on Monster?
Let me see if I can bring it up actually.
I know Tenkage was speaking well of Monster as well earlier.
It has like more of a Western style actually, now that I think of it. Let's try and open this up. Yeah, there we go. I'll go ahead and try and share this if I can. Let's see here.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, so it goes for a pretty grounded style.
Show a scene, like the actual scene, not the opening.
Let me
Better
see.
idea.
An actual screenshot or a scene?
Like a screenshot of a scene. Because that's from the opening.
If I can find something. The thing is, like, the series is actually like pretty low to the ground. Like, it doesn't get too fantastical or anything. But it does a lot with a little.
I don't think I don't like his coloring.
This is actually one of Studio Madhouse's earlier productions. So if you guys are familiar with them, they do some really good animation, and this is no exception. It's a lot more subdued, though. The best way I can describe the series so far is think of if Alfred Hitchcock made an anime, and there you go. You're already halfway there.
Hitchcock, man. That's quite a reference because he's master of suspense. It had these great camera angles all the time.
I will say this, in the first 2 episodes, the anime, the writing alone will have you hating just about every other character that isn't the main character. It does a very good job of it. Like, a lot of it's like, the main character is like a brain surgeon, and everything that goes on in that hospital is like dirty politics. And it's like he's the innocent, like he's the actual innocent guy put in a very bad situation. And like everybody from like his fiance to like his boss, his coworkers, they are all pieces of garbage. Yeah,
So,
in
like,
general, it's just
Cyberpunk
very solid
2077?
writing. I actually think the writing is like far above, personally.
Yeah, because I thought everybody in that fucking game sucked. I originally
What?
went for like a non-lethal approach in Cyberpunk, but they're like, why am I sparing these people? These are absolutely terrible people. Let's just murder everybody.
The difference is Monster is not trying to make you sympathize with these characters. it knows fully what it's doing.
Some people are just kind of rewriting history and saying that Cyberpunk 2077 is good now.
Yeah,
Like, it
I've
wasn't
already
just
been
the bugs
seeing.
and missing features that made that game bad. It was a lot of it was the fucking storytelling itself.
I've
The
been
music
seeing
was
like
kinda
Young,
lacking.
yeah, and a couple others really coping hard for that game, trying to say
Yeah.
it's a classic. Now I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Do you like it, James?
Young
You've been playing it?
Cyberpunk? Not recently, but I remember it thoroughly. I played tons of it when it did come out, and I found a shit ton of fun glitches, broken glitches, bad writing, terrible characters, forced
Sounds awful.
romance. The romance felt so fucking forced on every character you're supposed to romance with, and I hated most of them because most of the characters, 90% of the characters, are just douchebags. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Like I said, it's not just the like I thought the combat was always fine in the game with the gunplay and shit.
But
Well,
did
it
you
was a
like it,
funky,
James? What was
did I
your
like it?
final verdict?
My final verdict was about I'll say a 4 out of 10.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, like is it what it there's my experience and there's what the game was trying to pull off, and the mix in between.
I still
I'll say
remember
that-
seeing some streamers trying to paint Dragon Age Veilguard's ending as like one of the best endings in gaming. I'm like,
Wow.
I saw that ending. I'm like, no,
I
it's
mean,
not.
there's a lot of great
Listen,
endings.
no one
man.
believed that. No one really like that. Everyone's already forgotten Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Like gamers and game journalists were coping so hard with that game. They were trying to convince everybody that, hey, this game isn't that bad, guys.
You know
It
what?
deserves your money.
It ended.
You know what, Frederick? We need to get all the times I've talked about Dragon Age the Veilguard for like the year and a half.
Super
like,
cut.
It's gonna be shit. And guess what? It was just as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
unfortunately,
So
guessing the quality of video games these days is that hard.
I was just going to ask Otter because you played Baldur's Gate 3, right? What's your verdict on that game? Is it a success?
Yeah, I'd say it's a resounding success. So I can break it down into my opinion in 3 parts because the game has 3 distinct acts. The first act is, I would call it a masterclass. Some of the very best that Western RPGs can offer. Act 2 is a little less so, but still pretty damn good, all things considered. Act 3 is probably the worst. It feels the most unfinished, and the writing also drops a fair bit. Not
Yeah.
terrible or anything, but it's not nearly as good.
So me and Otter talked about this because we both played Baldur's Gate 3. And pretty much it is. The first act is really well developed. Pretty good. The second act is not bad. It's not as good as the first act. The third act just throws way too much at you. You get no time to do it while you're there. And there's some explanations between it because there was originally supposed to be the upper city, and that's completely was cut like a month or 2 before launch. And you can really feel it. Like it doesn't really make sense. We have 2 villains in Act 3, and one of them is supposed to be like a politician and stuff, but he's not really in the game that much. And it doesn't make sense for him to be crowned at the gates instead of, I don't know, the fucking palace.
This is what I'll say just in general. Larian's weakest aspect has always kind of been the writing. I would never say it's been terrible, but a lot of their writing in the past is usually a bit on the basic side. I would not argue it's so much for Baldur's Gate 3, but I think Act 3 in particular really suffers just because there isn't really a clear-cut villain until like the last hour of the game. And I do think that hurts the story. I do think that much.
The problem is we're introduced to, at the end of Act 2, the Elder Brain. I don't even give a shit. The game's been out for long enough. Fuck you. Spoilers.
It's a
He's
game
the
about
elder
mind
brain.
flayers. The villain is the elder brain. Shock and awe. I know.
But the thing is, it's introduced, but it's not like a real threat until the end where it has full control. And it's like, ooh, my plan all along was to use these idiots to make my mind flayer army. Then you kill it. Ta-da! Over.
Spoilers, everybody.
Yeah, and
Spoilers.
I also didn't think we got to spend enough time with Ketherick Thorn. It was like kind of the most interesting of the villains.
He should have been the main villain, and I'm disappointed that he wasn't. You had J.K. Simmons voicing him, for God's sake, and he did a damn good job of it, too.
I don't think you got enough time with the other two. Like Orin, I think actually you got enough time with, but
Orin was okay. I liked Orin. Gortash was the most generic of the bunch.
But he didn't get no time. The only thing that was confusing is he had like a fucking Final Fantasy haircut, which I felt was like really out of place. He
looks like he came right out of this game. Like, this looks kind of like Gortash, actually. Right here. Right here. There you go.
Which was really sad because the dude who played him done like really well.
They did a great like voice performance and everything. It's just the character design. I was like, Larian, what were you guys thinking here? He's just an anime villain. That's all he is.
Well, shit, you know, Frequency, you've watched Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
You know the dude who plays Draco Malfoy's father?
Yeah.
That's the dude who does the voice for the villain we're talking about. Yeah, he kind of got wasted in the game. Like I said, he's barely there.
Well, yeah, I can see him having an awesome delivery.
I forgot who the chick who is playing Orin, where she's from.
I honestly forget as well. There is like a bit the game where, spoiler alert, technically we're already spoiling the story. There's a bit where you actually get to see the villain from the first game. What is his name again?
Not the first game, the second game.
No, first game. It's first game. I played the first game. Yep. That is
starts with an S.
Saravok.
Yeah,
That's
Saravok.
it. Yep. It's pretty well just him being resurrected, and he's kind of there more as like a set piece. Like it doesn't really have much to do with anything other than basically just being a bit of fan service, honestly. Still fun that you actually get to fight him in the game. It felt a little out of place though.
The thing is, it's a side quest that ties in with Orin's.
Yeah.
Side quest or the main quest. You don't have to do it. You also don't have to kill him.
My character killed him, and I was playing an evil character too.
No, I killed him. I'll be funny enough. Like, yeah, my padlock was incredibly broken. Incredibly broken. But he's kind of a cakewalk, not gonna lie.
I mean, even with my character, he was pretty easy. I was playing like how do I put it? A rogue that is basically just a slut drow. There you go. I was doing the charisma playthrough. Like the game actually does let you do the I seduce the dragon type playthrough. That's what that playthrough was.
Yeah, that's how you learn the Emperor is a bit how do I explain it? Rapey.
Yes.
Because if you try to romance him, or if you go to romance him, but then or if you deny his advances on you or whatever, like very meanly, he basically just says, "Hey, I could just force you to do it," you know.
There are parts of the game that do have an actual edge to it, which, as weird as it sounds, I actually think adds to the actual storytelling. I like having a bit of an edge in storytelling. That's part of why I like Dragon Age Origins so much. It's not safe, let's say that much.
I mean, you kill goblin children in Act 1.
Yeah, like, let's put it this way. The game, if you want to play an evil character, the game lets you play an evil character.
Yeah,
and it doesn't hold any fun to people.
So where was the outrage from the game's journalist about you being able to kill goblin children in the game?
Bear sex had priority that day, I guess.
Because they think that fictional races mean black people, and because they're racist.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised they didn't like start accusing Larry, because goblins are the only the only ones that the children that you can outright kill in the game. Tieflings don't really count because that's just due to quest consequences. It's not actually you yourself. Like the goblins are the only one you can do it to. So I'm like, they're saying that goblins are black people, orcs and goblins and shit like that, right?
Yeah, they've been saying that a lot.
I'm surprised they didn't go after the
D&D's kind of like that as well now.
There are a few elements like that in Baldur's Gate 3. It's not much though. This has kind of been a running theory with a lot of people in Baldur's Gate 3, especially with Larian backing out of the deal for Baldur's Gate 4 with Wizards of the Coast. There's the theory out there that Wizards of the Coast was very controlling while they were developing Baldur's Gate 3, because there were a lot of woke elements that were not added in until a lot later into the game.
Yep.
I think the biggest one is the actual like pronoun slider or whatever that was not into the game until like the 11th hour.
Pronoun slider?
No, it's like you can say I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm non-binary. It's like that wasn't in the game for like 90% of it, right up until they were about to release it.
The same thing was with the type 1, type 2 body type bullshit.
Yeah.
That wasn't in early access. It was male.
They were keeping it so the people wouldn't talk about it until last minute.
No.
I think we're saying that at first, but the more you kind of learn about Larian, like Larian doesn't really do that all that much.
So keep in mind, Wizard of the Coast is the one who's licensing out Dungeons and Dragons to Larian.
Right.
Wizard of the Coast is going to tell them what they can and what they have to have in the game and what they don't have to have.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's not really hiding it. It's probably got to do with Wizard of the Coast saying, no, you're going to have this. So they had to put it in there.
Yeah, for sure. It could go back up. You have, I heard GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Association, apparently is a huge influence in the gaming sphere as well.
Now, Larian, I mean, like, it was always going to have, like, fucking liberal left-wing shit in games, you know?
And we're getting a lot
Larian
of feedback.
very much
Somebody's
comes
mic is
across as me as old BioWare.
Somebody's mic is picking up a lot of background noise.
I think that's Wrangler's mic.
Frequency.
Is that better?
No, your mic is very tinny.
Yeah, I muted you, Wrangler, for a moment.
I found an old video of mine. It's just a montage of all the glitches I found in Cyberpunk. So I'm playing it.
Can he unmute himself if I'm muting him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. Is it still doing it?
Yeah,
no, it's much better now.
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Be right back.
So would you recommend Baldur's Gate 3 then?
Yeah, I actually would. I'm not going to say it's a perfect game by any stretch, but it's a damn fine game. I will say this, even if you're not playing it for the writing, the gameplay alone is worth it.
Frederick, actually, I do recommend it. And when you get your Steam Deck, you'll be able to get it. Just wait for a sale, so you can get it cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
But no, seriously, it's recommended. I mean, it's a turn-based CRPG, so.
Larian has always done a really good job with like turn-based like combat, and like they also add another layer to it with like terrain features and stuff like that. It has a pretty good stealth system. Like there's traps and everything. It's a very robust like engine they've got going, and also co-op's pretty fun. I don't necessarily recommend it for your first time playing through, but like For a second or third time, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I
Interesting.
played it a couple of times through online co-op, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, the other game I want to get besides Spider-Man is the Marvel Versus, just the old arcade games. It's just for the retro. Art style is great on there. Just see the superheroes fighting with the supervillains and Capcom and all that. Huge inspiration for drawing, I think. And Spider-Man's an inspiration for Rattel, you know, just flying through the city. It's going to be cool. Cool experience, I think. Haven't had a gaming system in a really long time.
I pretty much migrated to PC. The only exception I have anymore is the Switch. The Switch actually does have good games on it.
Yeah, I was eyeing the Switch for a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the Switch is I'm not gonna say that it's like a catch-all, but there are some really solid games on there. I think the story is a little lackluster, but Breath of the Wild is a really fun time.
Yeah, that's one I was gonna get if I was gonna go with the Switch.
I played that game like a solid month and a half before finally putting it down. It did get a little tiresome around the end, but I still had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, a Zelda game's a Zelda game.
It's not your typical Zelda game. It's very different for a Zelda game.
So
but
this
it's
is
still
the
a
one
lot
with
of
the
fun.
sword that wears out.
Yes, I know a lot of people hate it. I actually don't. I could kind of argue that they could have a bit more durability on them, but a big part of the fun in that game is exploring and feeling like you're trying to use your wits to get from point A to point B or outsmart your enemies. It's kind of like an RPG mixed with a little bit of a survival game. It's really fun.
Oh, that sounds cool. A lot of game. Should be getting into gaming back in the holidays times. I think holidays is a great time to be chilling out, letting go, and gaming a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because I tend not to game too much during the year. Already takes a lot of time to draw comic books. I think if I get too much into gaming, it'll take away. Away a little bit of drawing time.
I think it's all about striking a good balance. I see creativity as kind of like a cup. Like you consuming media, like watching TV shows, reading books, playing video games, that's filling up that cup with ideas. And then you actually creating is kind of like draining it. So it's like making sure that you've got a happy medium there. That's how I always see it. Just making sure that you're consuming plenty and also just having a good amount of time creating.
And that's why I'm thinking of getting those games in particular. It's kind of like it's gonna feed back into inspiration for the comic book.
I have a feeling you'll really like Breath of the Wild. The best way I can describe it, it's a very zen type of game. It's like post-apocalyptic, but it's very calming to play.
I probably won't be playing it unless I do an emulation because I'll be going with the Steam Deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's still some games I can recommend that are really good.
Really? Like which ones come top of mind?
Baldur's Gate 3 is a really good one.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about that.
Path of Exile is very good. I need to play more through Path of Exile 2 before I can really recommend it or not. I'm willing to bet so, just from all that I've seen and heard. Trying to think what else off the top of my head.
I'm playing Axiom Verge right now. It's pretty interesting. I'll tell you what.
That one does look interesting.
The story takes a lot of brain power to comprehend. It goes into mathematics, computer code, comparing reality to a computer code. Very matrixy, but with multiversal implications.
Oh, I think it's about time to start wrap up.
Okay, everybody. I hope you prepared your rap because we're going to do a little rap.
Rap battle now.
Your rap battle. All right. My name's Fred, and I'm about to hit the dead end because I can't rap. But you know what I can do? I can hit the showtime button. Hit it!
fucking shit!
Oh, there they are. Look at these gorgeous sons of bitches.
That's right. Lizard James, why don't you start us out?
Very well. You can follow me at World Without End Lore for some lizard fun. I just released on my Substack, worldwithoutendlore.substack.com. For our premium subscribers, our first of the Billy Bob adventures. The first one is titled Billy Bob Kicks the Devil's Ass and Punches His Wife in the Face. You can find that.
Got to read that.
You will get.
Accurate.
You will get. You'll get to see that public release this Christmas, possibly Christmas Eve. It's a lovely short little read, 2,000 words, and you're just really gonna love it. It's a Western.
That's right. Otter.
Well, if you want to find out more of what I have, the Otter, you can check out my Substack. That is downstreampulp.substack.com. I plan on releasing another review pretty soon for the second book written by Herman P. Hunter. That is The Wizard Stone. On top of that, if you want to find out about my own novels, I have one coming up, the sequel to Steel and Stormbright. Hoping to have it out early next year. We shall see whenever that campaign goes up. Hoping to have it up around April. The first book, The Curse of the Star Raids, you can find on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I highly recommend it if you like swords and sorcery, fantasy, and stories about perseverance, brotherhood, athletic titties, you name it. It's really fun.
That's right. Frequency.
You can follow me on YouTube. Do a channel search for @Wrangler212, and you can find us over there. And we all meet pretty much every Monday. You can also find my books on Amazon. Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. Also, you can follow me on the X Twitter, Truth, Minds, Substack, and Blue Sky under Frequency Studios.
Nice. Frederick.
imakecomics.com is a forward address that'll take you to retailcomic.com. I'm also going to appear tomorrow on Comicsgate Commandos, and we even have a comment by Patrick Quinlan here. Was at my nephew's baptism. Sorry I missed the show. God bless all. Well, God bless, Patrick. I forgive you, but it's going in your permanent record, and that's getting to be a fat record at the moment. But yeah, check us out on Comicsgate Commandos tomorrow. And next week, we won't have a proof of comics because it's going to fall on Christmas Eve. Tuesday is. So we're going to skip next week, but we'll be back on New Year's Eve where we'll have some form of a clip show, I guess.
Oh, also, Patrick, put a fucking thumbnail on your streams. You've done it like 3 times. It's annoying.
Well, by the way,
on the thumbnail.
Next Tuesday, we're actually going to be doing a holiday special where we're going on the World Without End YouTube channel as we have our weekly Terran Tuesday discussions. We're doing a holiday special of what makes a holiday or what makes a Christmas movie.
Ooh, interesting.
Very argumentative stream. I'm going to jump in there and then...
I mean, you can if you want. You can join the stream. It's kind of open to anybody who wants to hop on and share.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I might hop on and say hi.
Patrick.
Okay.
The reason why it keeps deleting your thumbnails because you're putting French lady boys on there, and like that's just not cool, bro. It's not cool. Please stop doing that.
Sylvia's judging you.
Yeah, Sylvia, you gave her what was it? An 8 out of 10, something like that.
Listen, I think you pulled a trap on him. Besides, no one will ever like measure up to our own lovely.
Matter of fact, Frederick, where is that clip?
Hold me tight, my love tonight. Tell me if you
German family television.
Listen, that woman's not equipped with what Patrick likes. Okay.
She's
what were
missing
you
a little
calling her,
firepower,
Sylvia?
let's just say.
Yes,
Were
you
you
did.
calling her
Take
Sylvia?
No, she's Sabrina.
Yeah.
Hello, Christina. Thanks for tuning in. Tenkage.
Hey, Christy.
That's right.
Oh, we need to find out if she's even still alive. Let's see if she aged.
We need to interview her. She needs to be on our episode 100.
She's still alive.
Is she still alive?
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
track her down and learn to
How
speak
did she age? That's
Italian.
the
She
real
didn't
question.
age that bad. I'm pretty sure she had work done, though.
Well, she's probably a ping tuber now, you know.
Anyways, Kupla, everybody. Kupla.
Good
And
night.
Merry Christmas since
Merry Christmas. We'll see you on
God
New
bless.
Year's Eve. Check us out on New Year's. And in the meantime, check out PQ Vox's channel for Comicsgate Commandos. I know we're going to be having next week's episode on Wednesday and maybe another day. I think Thursdays, Tuesdays, perhaps. Stay tuned. Check on Twitter on his channel. And so long. Sayonara and bonsoir.
So long, Gay Bowser.
The sun has gone to bed, and so must I. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Hello, Bitcoiners. Thank you very much. Hello. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you.